everyone, it's Maki. Episode 6 of GQuuuuuuX will be released soon. As I write this, it hasn't been released yet. If the whole story is told in 12 episodes, then episode 6 would mark the halfway point. We might finally start to see what the ultimate goal of Amate and the others is. This time I'd like to talk a bit about the world of Universal Century. Amate really wants to go to Earth. So, what is the state of Earth in the world of GQuuuuuuX? Now, if you don't mind, I have a little announcement. I'm currently accepting support through memberships on my channel. For just 99 cents a month, you can get a name badge and comment stamps. Alright, let's dive into the analysis. Amate longs for the Earth. In particular, she seems to be deeply fascinated by the ocean. In episode 1, she had a jellyfish picture set as her smartphone wallpaper. If that were the only thing, you might think she just likes a pretty picture. But in a school survey that asked about her career aspirations, she actually answered jellyfish. Her room is also decorated with tons of jellyfish photos. She also has several small lights around her room. Perhaps they are meant to evoke the glow of deep-sea creatures. In conversation with Miran, she happily wonders, do you think you can swim in the ocean anytime you want, and begins to imagine what kind of swimsuit she'd wear. For Amate, the ocean is a symbol of her dreams, a space of freedom. So what is the state of the oceans in the world of the Universal Century? This came up in yesterday's program, but director Mr. Maki mentioned that a key theme in GQuuuuuuX is real and fake. What is the difference between the ocean that Amate imagines in her heart and the real ocean on Earth? The state of the Earth is described in the opening narration of beginning and the opening moments of first GUNDAM. Due to the explosive growth of the human population, the Earth suffered severe environmental destruction, which led to the beginning of space colonization. Throughout the Universal Century GUNDAM series, environmental destruction has been a consistent and central theme. Various organizations have taken action with the stated goal of restoring Earth's environment. The government of the Earth Federation initiated forced space migration as a measure to rehabilitate the Earth. The Principality of Xi'an also started a war under the banner of gaining autonomy, but their leader Giran Zabi later reveals that his ultimate goal is strict control for the survival of humanity. Surprisingly, all three factions that appear in Zeta Gundam share the same core belief. In order to restore the environment of the Earth, humanity must move completely into space. Even Jumida Hyman, the leader of the Titans, has the restoration of the Earth's environment as his ultimate goal. I'm planning to produce a separate episode that delves into their goals and ideologies, as the context is very complex. So, in the world of the Universal Century, Earth is in a devastated state, and decisive action is required to bring about recovery. The world of GQuuuuuuX takes place in an alternate Universal Century, but it's very likely that a similar situation exists. The Earth Federation government may have conducted a forced migration into space, and those who felt abandoned in the process took the name of the Principality of Xi'an and started a war. And in the course of that war, the most devastating act of environmental destruction in human history is carried out, the dropping of a space colony on Earth. So now we must ask, does the peaceful image in Amate's mind of jellyfish floating freely in the ocean on Earth really exist? Unfortunately, it's very likely that such a beautiful scene does not exist. In Hathaway's Flash, we see beaches littered with garbage. There are a few scenes in the original Universal Century that show the ocean. So maybe swimming in the ocean is still possible. But whether Amate will ever see an ocean where jellyfish and fish swim freely remains uncertain. In episode 15 of First Gundam, there's a scene where Admiral Ray goes swimming in the ocean. However, not a single fish appears in that scene. Of course, this could simply be due to animation constraints, where the animators left out the fish to reduce their workload. But let's take a closer look at the conversation between Hathaway and the taxi driver in Hathaway's Flash. Hathaway says we can't catch any more fish. He doesn't say we're catching less, he clearly says we can't catch them anymore. Taking his words into account, our interpretation of the fishless ocean scene in First Gundam begins to change. How would Amate feel if she finally made it to Earth, stepped into the ocean, and saw a sea completely devoid of fish and jellyfish? When she realizes that the peaceful seascape she has always imagined in her heart is nothing more than a dream destroyed by mankind, something that can never be restored, how would she react when she is confronted with the ruined, real ocean? This could become a major emotional turning point in the second half of the story. The opening sequence of GQuuuuuuX contains images that evoke the ocean itself. Amate is shown sinking into the sea, and then GQuuuuuuX appears. But this scene doesn't depict a vibrant underwater world filled with free-swimming fish or jellyfish. Instead, it shows a dark, empty underwater space. There's also a brief moment when a part of GQuuuuuuX resembling a mouth opens up on screen. Go to Earth and see the ocean. I'm really curious to see when this event will take place. Thank you for watching until the end. See you in the next episode.